sun and high cloudy day here in Whitehorse.
In Whitehorse. Lucky.
The snow is not more than 2 kilometers up the hill.
No mosquitoes yet?
Only had a couple, and we shoot them off, told them to tell their friends not to come either. So far it's worked.
Good, good.
How about yourself?
I sent him your report.
I'm going to close this one. It's too hard. Light. Light. Good coffee, man.
Taken.
Hmm?
Picture taken.
Well, the other one with the lake and the road. Oh,
Can I get your name? Must have an end road. Somebody with a trailer, a long trailer. Came around and I think he thought that you could get up that way. And you couldn't, so he had to back up. He did very good at backing up. Somebody from Inverda.
no, nobody commented on her. I forgot all about them.
So we were just discussing whether we were going to do an amendment. I think we've decided to put it in the afternoon board, right? Yeah, okay. So I'll call the meeting to order. We have a quorum, do we?
We do.
Okay, thank you, corporate officer. So I will acknowledge that we're located on the traditional territory of the Liquito people, and I'll take a motion that the agenda for today be adopted as presented.
So moved.
Thank you, Commissioner Rice.
Second.
Thank you, Commissioner Grenland. All in favor? I see no opposed. That's carried. We don't have any petitions or delegations, do we?
Nope.
Nope. Okay. And I'll take a motion that the adoption of the previous minutes of April 29th, 2026 be adopted as presented.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, that's Commissioner Rice, Commissioner Kerr. All in favor? Any opposed? None? Okay, that's great. It's carried. Public considerations, there's nothing in front of us. Chair's report, don't have anything special to report. It's not covered in the staff report. And I guess we're now at the section that the report of the CAO regarding the Recreate project update be received.
Move receipt.
Move receipt.
Thank you.
Second.
Thank you. Let's have our staff presentation.
Good morning, Commissioners. The following is an update on the Recreate and Wellness Project. Just waiting to have the PowerPoint presentation here projected. Thank you, Edie. Before getting into today's update, I would like to take a moment just to reflect on how far the project has progressed. I have chosen a couple of images. So the one to the left was taken a year ago, exactly in May 2025. You can see the incredible amount of work that it took just to have all that concrete for the basement and all the basins, the 4 pools. And the next image that is showing to the right was taken 6 months ago when we had all the structures still being erected in construction of the roof. These images highlight the substantial amount of work that has been completed across the facility, from structural construction building to the advancement of major mechanical, electrical, envelope, and pool systems. The next image that you see on the left side is the status of the project, that shows the significant transformation that has occurred over the last 12 months. All areas of the facility have now been transitioning into interior finishes, pool equipment installation, and soon preparing for commissioning. The photo to the right shows the final rendering, providing a glimpse of the completed facility and the vision that is becoming a reality. Now getting into the construction activities that are happening on site right now. So we can see a photo on the left side of civil work. That's the construction of the new dogwood entrance that started a couple of weeks ago and is anticipated to be completed in July. To the right, we can see landscape work for phase 1 and phase 2, both for the wellness and the new aquatic center on the north side of the facility adjacent to Pinecrest. This work is progressing and is anticipated to be completed as well end of July. We have the last set of air handling units. I believe there are 7 pieces that were lifted yesterday. They're going into place in those curves that you see on the right side, located on the east side of the facility, adjacent to the existing one that soon will be demolished. On the left side, you can see one of the air handling units being lifted and into place on the east side, and you can see the hydronic piping that is being installed that connects the piping coming from the new facility into the boiler and also into the cooling towers. To the right side, some of the previous air handling units that have been lifted and installed, and you can see the installation, the connections being performed at this time. Now moving into the interior, work happening in all the basins. Image to the left shows the lapa pool being tested. It's very difficult to see, but the lower section of the pool, or the deepest section, has water. All the leaks that were identified 3 weeks ago have been fixed and rectified, and this pool is now has passed all the testing and ready to be tiled. You can see as well the work that is happening on the background with all the steel stud and gypsum board. They're closing, mudding, taping, and painting. As well, you can see the architectural ceiling finishes for the higher natatorium being completed for both for the leisure and also the lapa pool. The image to the right side shows final preparation of the leisure pool before they start tiling. You can see around the pool that whatever you see red, that's the waterproof membrane that is happening everywhere in this natatorium, both lower and upper. So things are looking great. These are milestones that we were waiting for. All 4 pools have been tested and everything has been passed, and we have started with tiling. So you can see the wellness pool is the first one to receive tiling. You can see that work. It's a little bit difficult to see in this image, but we're hoping that in my next presentation we can start seeing more of the contrast between these architectural finishes and the rest of the facility. But tiling started, and we anticipate a number of crews working really hard within the next weeks to make sure that we meet the final line. On the right side, you can see the final preparation of the hot tub. All the jets have been installed. Everything is ready to as well start tiling. You can see adjacent to that basin that the deck has been waterproof as well. If you notice in that lower natatorium where the wellness and the hot pool are, we haven't installed the architectural finishes. This is something that has to be done towards the end of the project in order to allow the tiling to go first. This is a short video that highlights ongoing interior construction work in the deck level. Kind of homemade, nothing fancy, but just to give you a better idea of what's happening there. Yeah, I'm well known for that. My videos are very low key. So to the right, what you're seeing, that's what's going to be the temporary entrance, the vestibule. You're seeing right now the leisure pool, lap pool, and on the left side where people are going to be sitting, watching, or supporting the families and kids in all the swimming competitions. And yeah, just a lot of work. Not a lot of workers at that time. I took, this video during the lunchtime, which is easier. You can see that all mechanical, electrical on top has been completed as well with the architectural finishes. Moving into the change rooms, a lot happening in these areas, all architectural finishes as well. You can see the gypsum board being placed on the ceilings, light fixtures as well, and anything related to lockers. They're just doing a lot of painting and finishing. Also, the floors are being prepared so they can start tiling. All these areas will be tiled, except for the CMU, the concrete masonry walls that will be painted. So, moving into the basement, the photo or the image to the left shows the electrical room. They're pulling an incredible amount of cable right now. This work by the electrical contractor is progressing really well. To the right side, you can see connections coming from the deck down into the technical corridor connecting into the filters. Those filters are being now opening and kind of, they're not, none of the system have been studied yet, but this is coming up. There is a significant amount of work happening down there. These spaces are filling very, very quickly. And so that's where I noticed that most of the workers are in this project. So I think the milestones are to make sure that we install all the pool systems, that we connect them, and so we can start with the commissioning, and also at the top of the deck level that all the tiling goes on so we can start filling the pools. More connections happening to the source tanks. That's what it shows on the image to the left. You can see now the minimal space that is left, but enough for obviously operations and maintenance guys to be working in that. But incredible amount of piping, everything related to, again, fire suppression systems, heating pipes, electrical and mechanical. To the right, we can see the last pieces of concrete that we have for this project. There are just some concrete pads that are going to be poured this week, and before we can receive the pumps that we have been waiting for a few weeks now to arrive to install them on site. So we have ongoing activities and upcoming construction work. The Dogwood new construction is progressing. As I said, mid-June will be completed. Landscaping to the northwest and south is progressing end of August. The tile at the pool basins and deck is progressing early August. Wellness, hot, leisure, lab basins filled mid-August. Pool slide and the pool accessories will be completed as well in mid-August. We have lower natatorium ceiling finish late June. The change rooms progressing to mid-July will be all done. The entry vestibule and the temporary entrances, 2 entrances, one for the arena, one for the aquatic, end of July. Moving into the cooling tower that is being located in the existing facility. Construction scheduled to be completed in July. The glass installation end of July, cladding early August, commissioning from July through September, early September. Occupancy with the City of Campbell River targeted for early September. Permits with Vancouver Island Health end of September, opening end of September. Phase, that's when we, then we already planning, preparing for the Phase 2 Wellness Center, which starts with the decommissioning of the temporary chemical room and the decommissioning of the existing pool and other systems that we have. So that's what we have coming up. A lot of work, just kind of high level. I have a detailed schedule, so this is just like a summary of that. The financials for the project, budget status, mentioned it in previous presentations that we have an approved budget of $69.8 million. We have a contract with the builder for $60.7 million that has been signed, including the change orders is $61.7 million. You can see the variance between 60 and 61.7. We have procured a lot of the owner's components for this facility, such as the wire access points, sound system, security cameras, all that. We have done it through Heatherbrae because they have the experience and the expertise. So therefore, those change orders are increasing the contract, but that's something that comes out of the same budget that we have, and it has been estimated in the past, and it's all aligning really well with what we did during the design stage. We have construction costs certified to Heatherbrae, the builder, to the end of March, $39.9 million. We have a progress claim coming for April for 2.1. It's not there, but it's in my hands right now. The entire team is reviewing, and we anticipate it will be approved this week. We have a contract with the prime consultant, the architect, and the engineering team for $1.38 million. We haven't had any significant change orders related to design, and we are up to $900,000 approximately approved. We have other costs related to the owner, related to permits, utility connections, owners, consultants, testing agencies, pool equipment, and First Nations art, furniture, contingency. So $6.7 million that was allocated to all these areas with $982,000 spent. The pool equipment has been procured and a contract has been awarded. We're just waiting to have that to arrive to the site end of July. Permits have been already processed. Utility connections, we have a few pending for the Dogwood. Owners, consultants, we have all the testing agencies that are doing quality control for us. And First Nations art, all the artists that has been provided in the past, all the artists for the project have been selected, and they're working on the art. And we have the contingencies just to cover anything that happens from now to the end of the phase one, and also contingencies that have been allocated for phase two. A question came up in the previous update about out of $69.8 million, how much was allocated to the wellness center. And so we did that review with the builder and the project team, and approximately $13 million is for the wellness center, and the remaining goes to the new aquatic. As the aquatics manager explained to us, many areas of the aquatic center will be used for wellness purposes as well. So total expenditures paid to date for this project, $41.8 million. That's approximately 65% of the total budget that has been approved for phase one and phase two. The project is within the approved budget. I'm just going to go back here for a moment. I'm just quickly going to speak about quality, safety, and then I'm just going to finalize with a couple of promotional videos that Communications at SRD and Strathcona Gardens developed just for the Recreate project. So in terms of quality, all consultants continue visiting the site. We're getting a significant number of site visits by the architect, knowing that we're going through the architectural finishes, and they're addressing any issues that have to be rectified for the project. So all the different disciplines, mechanical, electrical, architectural, envelope, and other consultants are on site every 2 weeks. Safety remains a priority to the project, high priority. I'm pleased to report again that there have not been any incidents to the site. We continue monitoring risks. We know that I was on site on Friday, and I know that we still have a lot of work to do that we have to finish in the next 14, 16 weeks to meet that timeline of completion of September. There is a lot, and we have had some challenges with supply chain for some of the pumps and the pool slide. So we're working really hard to make sure that we mitigate any of the problems that could delay the completion. So the entire team is working diligently, the engineers, the architect, this office as well, the builder. So we're confident that this project will be completed as it's been scheduled. In summary, the project continues to move forward steadily, supported by strong collaboration among the regional district, the project team, consultants, contractors, and Strathcona Gardens managers. Again, we remain on project and budget, and we're committed to deliver this high-quality aquatic and wellness facility to the community this September 2026. With this, I conclude this presentation. I'm happy just to welcome your questions before I can play those two videos that we have.
CAO first, and then we'll take commissioner questions.
I just have a quick comment, based on a call that the CFO and I participated in with the Inspector of Municipalities as it pertains to the budget. I think it's important for the group to know. So Wolf has been providing these updates every month to the commission. At the end of the presentation he has detailed the budget status and the progress of the project. And as you've seen every month that the project is on time and on budget. And curiously, one of the questions that the Inspector of Municipalities had for myself and the CFO was how we are dealing with the $10 million overrun of the project. I told the inspector that was fake news, but clearly from an opposition group, I don't know who that is, but I have FOI'd the information that it's been socialized with the Inspector of Municipalities that we are $10 million over. I informed the inspector that these meetings are open, there's a presentation they retain on our minutes, and anyone and everyone is happy to watch and read the presentation. And at the end of every one, it's been clearly socialized with the group that we are on budget and on time.
Well, thank you for that update. Yes, Commissioner Kerr.
Thank you, Chair. And just a question, a few questions. What's the budget for First Nations art on the project?
The budget that has been approved for First Nations art was $150,000. And there are 4 pieces right now being developed for the project. 2 of those pieces are going in the exterior of the facility, 2 in the interior of the facility, with 4 different artists.
So is there any other art going in, any public art going on the project other than First Nations art?
I'm not aware of any other art going to. There is a space available for more art, but there are no more funds available for that.
Okay, how was the selection of First Nations art made?
I think we had a committee that we developed with the 2 nations and the artists, and it was going to be challenging deciding. I think there was probably 8, 10, or 12 artists, I believe, from the nations. And so we created a selection committee that included the chiefs, and they, I wouldn't say, sifted through the submissions and decided on who the artists were. So it was a committee that selected. In terms of art going forward, I think what traditionally facilities have done, kind of organically grow that. There's lots of space and areas for art, and those kind of grow as the facility, continues on through the years. So there's room for it. So if we find or discover or have requests, we certainly have space for art, but we don't have anything financially identified other than the $150K we had for First Nation. I believe that was also split between the Weewakai and the Weewakam nations there.
Okay, just my only comment on that, as an artist and watching these things develop over the years, the only time there's ever a budget for it is right now. There's never a budget in the future for public art. It's always lumped in and last thing, generally, first thing to be cut. And anyway, I'm disappointed because I thought, as it seems to me as a board, but I certainly think as this committee, at some point in the very beginning, there was the acknowledgement that there wouldn't just be First Nations art going into the project. So, on another note, talking about the other thing that usually gets cut on projects, and that's landscaping. And so it was really nice to see the landscaping finally getting done along the north slope of the building there. I've been, as a landscaper for 30 odd years, there was many times that there was supposed to be landscaping proposals. There was never money for it, and it never got, and it was just nothing but a weed patch for the length of time. So it's nice to see finally a budget that's getting adhered to, and we're getting that looking good along the side. Other than that, great to see the progress on the project, and really looking forward to September.
Any other questions from commissioners? Yes, Commissioner Dahl.
Thanks for your update. You're always awesome. It's great to see that we are continuing to be on time and on budget. My question was on phase 2, if we have a timeline and how long we expect the phase 2 to take to complete. And then when I'm done, I just wanted to make sure, so you've put in the FOI request for who's saying we're $10 million over budget?
I have. There was a number of other questions that arose out of that I wanted to try and track down the source of it, so I have made an FOI request. Yeah.
Excellent.
Thank you, Commissioner Dahl. Just to respond to your question, phase 2 will commence as soon as we get the operational permits for the pool. So we can, basically, the builder will mobilize and start building the hoarding for that in September. And that phase 2 is gonna go for 7 months. So we anticipate that all the renovation of the existing facility to build the wellness center will be completed in April 2027.
Yes, Commissioner Grunrud.
Thank you, Chair, and thank you, Wolfgang, for your presentation. Again, very well done. Just one question on the natatorium and pool halls, whatever you want to call them. The ceilings architecturally are pleasing with the wood. How is access for maintenance? Is it individual pieces need to be taken off, or are they big panels that would be removed? Just a question looking into the future.
Yeah, that is a good question. Thank you so much. The access will be done through, there is access above the ceiling. So operations and maintenance, we have access to the mechanical components and electrical if anything needs to be fixed or repaired out there. So we don't have to remove panels from the bottom.
Thank you.
Anything further? I did have a question that sort of came to mind, and I don't know if it's already in the plan. I didn't see it on the phase 2. But we have other people in the SRD that operate pool facilities. So as we decommission the old equipment, has there been thought about like distributing or offering them for resale to the existing operators of pools? I just don't know whether, that sort of circular economy or, reuse and reduce waste, whether or not they're worthwhile, but I just didn't know whether staff had thought about that in the decommissioning.
Yeah, go ahead, Roy.
So, most of the equipment is past the end of its life, so there's not a lot to salvage. We do have a new dehumidifier coming for Arena 1. There's been some expressed interest from 2 other ice arenas. We are going to get a third party to give us an assessment on what it's worth, and then we will put that out to tenure. But as far as the pool equipment goes, most of that equipment is past its lifespan.
Is it possible, CAO, that we could talk to members of the SRD in case, I think there's people in different towns that might have even older equipment who would appreciate some of our equipment, even if it was past life. I just don't know if it's practicable or lawful, so.
I think as direction, we can certainly, to us, they're a liability, but if others want that and there's something that they want, there's no value to us, but to reuse it, we can certainly reach out and see if anyone's interested in anything that we deem has any life in it.
Okay, just an idea. Thought it might be helpful. Anything further then? Okay, we're now at the point where we need to vote on that motion. So all in favor of receipt? Any opposed? That's carried. And a motion that the supplementary report from the CEO be received?
Move receipt.
Second.
Thank you.
Second.
Any discussion on that? All in favor? Any opposed? That's carried. And we have now our item that the report from the CEO on pool allocation policy be received.
Move receipt.
Second.
Second. Okay, let's go ahead, staff.
Thank you. Through the CAO, to the chair, to the commissioners. We just wanted to provide an update on the Strathcona Gardens pool allocations for 2026 as a result of discussions with user groups. The current Strathcona Gardens allocation policy provides a framework for fair and equitable distribution of pool space among user groups and our programming and specific users like lane swimmers. Where 2 user groups hold equivalent allocation priority, available space is shared proportionally. Each May, the start of the Salmon King Swim Club season creates an overlap with the Killer Whale Swim Club existing year-round allocation. Under the allocation policy, both clubs hold equivalent standing, and as a result, the available pool space is shared between them for the duration of this overlap period. This overlap period is temporary, and when the city's outdoor pool opens in June, the Salmon Kings transition to that facility and the Killer Whales resume their full lane complement at Strathcona Gardens. The pinch point is confined to the month of May. Prior to 2023, this overlap was managed by suspending Strathcona Gardens' internal aquatics programming, including swim lessons, advanced courses during May and June to accommodate both clubs. Since 2023, staff have returned to delivering those programs as scheduled in alignment with the allocation policy and in recognition that the spring swim lessons represent a peak demand period for the community associated with getting children water safe before summer is a critical public service. The Killer Whales coaching staff have expressed frustrations with the May reduction in lane space, noting their year-round presence at the facility. Conversely, the Salmon Kings view their May access as fair recognition since that they do not ask for nearly the amount of pool space that the Killer Whales ask for. Both perspectives are reasonable. It's up to the aquatics manager to work with the clubs and apply a balanced approach to the access. While both clubs hope to see space for growth, they understand the need for balanced approach and lane allocation. During the meeting on May 14th, 2026, some of the outcomes were, like, all user groups will retain their existing lane allocations for the upcoming season, so it's the same as last year's. There'll be a brief reduction of access to ensure swimmer safety as lifeguards are trained in the new pool, following which the user groups will be first to access the new facility. The Killer Whales adult program, 12 swimmers twice per week, will operate with 3 lanes rather than 4 in keeping with the allocation policy, which more than meets the needs of the existing members and provides space to grow the program. The head coach of the Killer Whales had announced his departure from the club prior to the allocation meeting. He did attend the meeting along with the club president and will complete the current training season with the Killer Whales before moving on to his next coaching position. At the allocation meeting, the Killer Whales club president expressed appreciation for the ongoing support provided by Strathcona Garden staff. The Killer Whales Club also indicated its intention to work with collaboratively with the incoming coach to build a relationship with the facility grounded in mutual respect and cooperation. The month of May will remain a pressure point in both the current and new facility as the demand for pool space consistently exceeds supply during this short period of time. A potential solution to this challenge could be opening the city outdoor pool in May. The outdoor pool would, the Salmon Kings would just transition to the outdoor pool rather than have the first month at Strathcona Gardens. So that is an option that can be discussed further. But, you know, allocation, whether it's pool or ice, is always going to be a challenge. There's always peak times. For example, I feel the swim clubs have worked even with the schools. They get credits now. The swimmers do get credits for PE time in the pool. They do dry land training on school time at the facility an hour before they go in the pool. So they're making some progress to maximize space and time as well. But we have tried to make some adjustments, and then, you know, we get into dissatisfied lane swimmers when we try to take lanes away to give more to the clubs. It's just one of those things when we have peak times, especially when school gets out, it's going to be a challenge. And in the new pool, like we have 6 lanes now, the new pool is going to have 8 lanes. It still would not be enough to have both clubs in at the same time.
Okay, any questions about the report? I mean, what's happened is there's been an outreach via one of the city councillors who must be at the pool with his kids to me, to various the Me Too staff, to just sort of say what's going on, because we get the things aren't satisfactory. And I see there's going to be continuing obligations. The one thing I did notice is we had this problem again, was it 2 years ago? And I was involved a little bit, but it's really a staff and operational decision until we want to change policy. The one thing, I had an old 2024 policy. Are you updating that policy? Is that correct?
Yeah, we are going to bring another update back to the commission, and we'll have a presentation outlining any changes in there, so it's just very clear and transparent. But we do feel like I don't think we're going to do anything different with the pool and dry floor, but there is an opportunity to allocate resources differently outside of regular ice seasons to accommodate people in town that have created businesses around training and that sort of thing. So that will be coming forward hopefully in June.
So when you have a policy that's like treatment of your clientele or something, you try and keep most of the policy within the operational side so that but if ever there's a violation of the actual policy that's created by this board or approved by the general board of the regional district, then there could be an option for someone to raise an issue at a higher level, like at the governance level, but it's usually quite constrained. And I would just like, when you're doing that, think about the escalation policy that's going to be satisfactory, and then the presentation of that policy to people at the end of the decision-making process. In other words, they have a right to obviously know the policy. That I'm just thinking in terms of fairness. I just don't want to end up having people come and say, I just didn't like it. I would rather have people saying, hey, you had a policy, you didn't apply it. That's the kind of question we should be getting.
And we are going to clearly identify that in the policy. If there's going to be a challenge to the allocation, we're going to create some steps before we get to that stage. And then we're also going to talk with the user groups before it comes to the commission to get their feedback.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just going to say the killer whales have done an excellent job getting kids up to almost pre-Olympic level, and I think that they feel they're very proud of that. And if they had more resources, they could go further. So there's always other factors that are, it's good that they get that far, but we also have to balance everybody's interests and take care of other people. I appreciate that. Any other questions that arise from that from commissioners? Okay, then on receipt, all in favor? Any opposed? That's carried. And I don't think we have anything else, do we, Mr. Corporate Officer? Okay, so a motion to terminate.
Speak up.
We have a couple of videos that
right, the videos.
Elaine is
Okay,
going
thank
to
you.
present. Thanks.
Not only do we have a couple videos, but I have to give props to our Strathcona Gardens marketing person. She literally just texted me right now, Amy Lotus, saying, hey, what happened to those videos? So, hello, Amy. Thank you for watching. So as you know, the communications department and the Strathcona Gardens marketing continues to keep the public informed through social media, through our website, and through our e-subscriptions. So every time Wolf does do a construction update with you, that is now shared with the public. But the other thing we have recently introduced were these amazing social media videos. So you saw one last week, and this week we've got two to share with you. Edith has it on the screen, and this is the one that we plan to release later today, and it's regarding the wellness pool. As you can see, staff are very much enjoying making these videos.
This was me before. A short walk left me tired.
We did want to go with a bit of a rock theme with the music. So sorry, Commissioner Dahl, it's not AC/DC for you, but it is still pretty rocky. So there you go. Video 3 is regarding the hot tub. So those two will be featured on social in the next weeks and months. And then we do have some other ones coming up, which would be swim lessons themed. Did you know about operations? And then definitely showcasing our exciting features like the climbing wall, water slides, diving boards, and so on. And then our last two videos, we plan to feature very much about the opening stage and what the user experience will be, and so on. Open to any questions that you may have.
Any questions, commissioners? So, having been to Iceland and having been to a number of various nice hot pools, some of them do offer wine windows in plastic glasses. I'm just saying, if you want socialization of a certain group, then you could always, be looking into that. I don't know if it's possible, but I just say it does happen. In adult-only sessions. Okay, apparently that hasn't flown, well into staff's heads yet, so we'll see. Do you have a question, Commissioner Dahl?
I was just going to say that Robin could be a lifeguard.
Okay, so I guess it's the motion to terminate our regular meeting.
Motion to terminate.
Thank you, Commissioner Godwin, and second by Commissioner Rice. All in favor? All done. Thank you.